The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
In the dark, Grand Key residents have been without power for 6 days. And the power woes persist in New Providence as well. What is going on? It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. Good morning blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, DeQuesta Dean will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll be talking with Commonwealth Bank about some special promotions they have, especially involving automobiles. We'll tell you all about that in business and more. That's all ahead. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, Grand Key residents have been without electricity for more than 6 days now after the Key's generator suffered a major mechanical failure, according to BPL. Last Tuesday, BPL advised that around 7 p.m. there was a power outage on Grand Key, operational fault, and that plans are underway to bring in a rental generation unit from Moores Island as a replacement. On Sunday morning, BPL said the replacement generator intended to bring relief had arrived on the Key. However, in an update yesterday morning, BPL advised that the generator was damaged in transit. The company saying that the team advised that the generation unit was online and was fully taken offline to be transported to Grand Key was damaged in transit and now needs to be repaired. A Grand Key resident telling the NASA Guardian yesterday that the community was just surviving. Meanwhile, power cuts continued in portions of New Providence yesterday as BPL struggled to provide consistent electricity supply. Areas along Gladstone Road, Rocky Pine Road, and Bacardi Road, Fire Trail East, Big Pond, and Skyline area were plunged into darkness yesterday. Throughout the day, other areas were without power. Beginning at 9:30 a.m., BPL said an outage was affecting Lyndon Pendling International Airport, Coral Harbor, Westridge, portions of Sandyport, and the Windsor Field No. 2 generation circuit breaker at Clifton Pier Station, saying that this had tripped. offline. BPL said that around 12:30 p.m. that power was restored to those areas, but at 1:20 p.m. it reported an outage in the Sea Breeze area of the eastern part of New Providence, and the outages just continued throughout the day into the night. Those blackouts followed power outages on Sunday, affecting many areas across New Providence well into the evening. The power crisis has stretched on for weeks now. The Davis administration has been touting plans to revolutionize the energy regime in the country through a series of power purchase agreements to introduce LNG and solar generation. The plan also includes an agreement with Bahamas Grid Company, which has taken over the upgrade and maintenance of New Providence's transmission and distribution network. A Supreme Court judge has refused to overturn the dismissal of a police sergeant after he was named in a 2024 U.S. indictment alleging his involvement in drugs and firearms trafficking. Sergeant Prince Albert Simonet was granted leave to judicially review his discharge in November 2025. Simonet's lawyer, Bjorn Ferguson, failing to convince Justice Franklin Williams, KC, that his client's dismissal was unlawful, procedurally improper, and of no legal effect. Williams found that at the time of his dismissal, Simonet did not have a valid contract and was an at-will officer. Simonet joined the police force in July 1994 and retired as a sergeant after serving for 25 years. He continued to serve on contract following a series of year-long re-engagements. His last contract ended in November 2023, a year before the indictment was unsealed. While no contract was enforced, Simonet remained on the force's payroll and was covered by the force's insurance. Following months of ongoing issues, members of the Bahamas Taxi Cab Union and Bahamas Livery Drivers Union at odds again outside the Lyndon Pilling International Airport yesterday. Livery drivers briefly blocked the access of taxi drivers to the airport. Taxicab union members expressed to several media houses that they would stage a demonstration because of their ongoing frustration with fare theft, they're calling it, and preferential treatment. Taxicab Union President Wesley Ferguson did not make an appearance, though. Although the livery drivers the entrance, their union president, Tori Austin, said that it was a premature move. Previously, both unions staged a protest. Well, the taxicab union staged a protest at LPIA accusing the livery drivers of taking its fares at the departure doors. The Bahamas Public Parks and Public Beaches Authority moving its Clean Beaches initiative to the South Beach area. It was the third beach cleanup exercise held this summer in an attempt to keep the most popular beachfronts along the coastline of New Providence in pristine condition. Authority Executive Chairman Jamal Strachan saying yesterday that the authority has a long-term phased plan in place to ensure those beaches remain clean. And Minister of Culture, Arts and Heritage Leslie Miller-Bryce says that the National Junkanoo Committee will officially meet for the first time next week since the passing of the National Junkanoo Authority of the Bahamas bill earlier this year. The National Junkanoo Authority of the Bahamas bill was passed in March 2026. The bill, which established a permanent 17-member statutory body appointed to oversee, manage, and promote Junkanoo parades, sparked great controversy among members of the Junkanoo community. The Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence, which had managed Junkanoo parades in New Providence for more than 2 decades, was at the forefront of the criticism. Miller-Bryce revealed they've been holding meetings with members of the Junkanoo community to hear their concerns and thoughts. She says those meetings will continue throughout Grand Bahama and other family islands as well. Overseas, search and rescue efforts underway early today in dozens of cities and towns across western Colombia after a powerful earthquake struck the region, killing at least 111 people and leaving many trapped under debris of damaged and destroyed buildings. Monday's 7.4 magnitude earthquake rattled Cali, Quibdó, Pereira, and numerous other cities and towns. Around 1,600 buildings were reported damaged or collapsed. Soldiers, rescue personnel, and families picking through the rubble, removing and passing large pieces of concrete by hand down lines of volunteers. President Abelardo de Esprilla saying Monday afternoon that at least 111 people had died. Families posted information about missing loved ones on citizen-run websites. By Monday night, more than 2,700 people had been reported missing. Local authorities say 80% of the town of El Cairo, with a population of around 7,000 people, was damaged. Choco, the region surrounding the quake's epicenter, is one of the poorest and most neglected regions of Colombia, often beset by warring armed groups. Much of Choco is accessible only by boat, through the jungle, or by airplane. Little is known about the extent of the damage there. At least 2,000 people have died in Congo's Ebola outbreak, the fastest growing on record. That's according to the latest data from health authorities, as they struggle to get help to remote localities due to rebel conflict, bad roads, and work stoppages over payment issues. Government data published overnight into Tuesday showed the outbreak has recorded a total of 4,381 confirmed cases, including 2,011 deaths. A total of 704 patients are in admission and isolation. The outbreak was declared on May 15th, but health officials say sequencing showed it began months earlier in February. A Syrian court sentencing ousted Syrian President Bashar Assad, along with his younger brother, to death in absentia Tuesday for crimes against humanity and war crimes during Syria's 14-year conflict that left about 500,000 people dead. The sentences of the Fourth Criminal Court in Damascus are the first against Assad or members of his inner circle since the Assad family's 5 decades in power came to an end 20 months ago. Also sentenced to death in the same case was Assad's maternal cousin, Atef Najib, who was convicted of overseeing a crackdown in the southern province of Dara that led to the uprising and later the civil war. Amid tight security, Najib stood inside a cage wearing a prisoner's uniform as the judge read the sentence. A crowd of people gathered outside the courthouse in central Damascus to hear the verdict. Meanwhile, Assad and his brother fled to Russia after the government's fall in December 2024 and received political asylum there. Syria's new rulers have asked Russia to hand the Assads over.
This is Sports Update.
In sports, the Bahamas Softball Federation beginning its search for softball talent at the under-18 level at the Blue Hill Sports and at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex in Freeport. It was just the second time that the Federation has hosted a national team tryout for under-18 softball, finding the nation's best softball talent ahead of the 2026 World Baseball Softball Confederation America's Under-18 Women's Softball Pan American Championships. The softball competition is slated for November 26th through December 6th in San Salvador, El Salvador. Read about that in today's Guardian Sports section. And judo in the Bahamas moving forward with popularity via the introduction of new athletes combined with seasoned veterans and coupled with parents and public-private partnership and support. During the weekend of July 24th through 26th, Eastwood Judo Club participated in the 36th Annual U.S. Open Judo Championships and turned in some impressive results. All the details in today's Guardian Sports section. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. So we've got a heat advisory in effect again for the entire Bahamas today. Everyone's being advised to take all necessary precautions, limit outdoor activities during peak sunshine hours, and stay hydrated. A broad high-pressure ridge will remain the dominant weather feature across the country, supporting generally settled conditions and hot temperatures. Some low-level moisture across the northern islands may trigger a few spotty showers, mainly during peak daytime heating hours. Expect gentle to moderate breezes along with smooth to slight seas across the northern half of the country, while moderate to fresh winds will continue for the central and southeast Bahamas with slight to moderate seas. So for today, there is a moderate risk of rip currents for all Atlantic coastal waters and a slight risk of rip currents elsewhere throughout the country. And we're looking at another day with UV indices in the very high to extreme range. Plus, we've got a plume of Saharan dust producing milky and hazy skies across the central and southeast Bahamas today. We've got health conditions, respiratory issues. Keep that in mind in that part of the country. So your forecast for today, most areas looking at partly to mostly sunny conditions. The extreme northern islands will see by this afternoon, though, a mix of sun and clouds, becoming mainly fair at night with a 20 to 30% chance of isolated afternoon showers and a slight chance of afternoon thunderstorms. The rest of the northwest Bahamas seeing a 10 to 20% chance of stray showers, slight chance of afternoon thunderstorms. The central islands, a bit hazier with a 10% chance of showers, and quite hazy for the southeast islands, all seeing fair conditions. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs getting up to around 91 to 93 Fahrenheit for most areas. The heat index will make you feel like it's 104 Fahrenheit, 40 Celsius. But the extreme northern islands, Grand Bahama, Bimini, Abaco, could see highs as high as 95 Fahrenheit, 35 Celsius, with the heat index making it feel like it's 108 Fahrenheit, 42 Celsius. Another warm night ahead, overnight lows getting down to as high as 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook and look at the tropics coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up today.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what, your Wealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Shop early to get your uniforms and get Janae's Uniform Center's buy 4, get 1 free sale. Pre-monogrammed and regular school shirts, dry fit and cotton polos, jumpers, skirts, boys' long and short pants, PE shorts, underclothes, tights, socks, neckties, belts, sleeping mats, hair accessories, and character work desk. Get 50% off backpacks, lunch bags, and raincoats. Buy 4 school shirts, get 1 free. Buy 2 skirts, jumpers, or pants, get the third 50% off. Need embroidery and monogramming done? Visit Janae's Uniform Center early. Beat the back-to-school rush. Janae's Chesapeake Road back-to-school special. Restrictions apply.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down. Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there, the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clocks and Island Luck, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
At RBC, we think it's your ideas that build a life. And sometimes, to keep an idea moving forward, you need a little help. That's why with the loan from RBC, there are no upfront bank fees. And with up to 100% financing, up to 10 years to repay, and competitive rates and terms, there's never been a better time to start the conversation. Let's talk loans. Visit rbc.com/loans today. Your idea of getting there happens here. Conditions apply, subject to normal lending criteria.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Cool. I just paid my insurance premium online.
That is cool. But how about an insurance portal that does that and more? NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers gives you access to a full-service insurance portal where you can get an instant quote, renew, pay, and manage your documents. All fully online. With NUA, you have so much more than just a payment portal. You have a complete insurance portal. Start now with an instant quote at nuainsurance.com.
Did you know that world-class medicine is just a quick flight away in Tampa? Tampa General is Florida's premier academic health system and one of America's top hospitals. Our program delivers advanced treatment options, assists with coordinating travel, and provides cultural support from a multilingual team. Discover the power of academic medicine at Tampa General's Global Medicine Program. For more, visit tgh.org/global medicine.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Low on summer funds? Squeeze every drop of fun out of your summer with Fidelity Personal Loan. From backyard upgrades to family getaways, Fidelity is here to help. Call 356-7764 today.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Flow, Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. Remember, standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Duquesa Dean. Duquesa, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, Bahamas. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you as well. Good to hear you with us. Good to have you with us as always.
Yes, good to be here.
All right, so, we are going to be talking about what's in the news, but also later in business, we've got Commonwealth Bank with us. They've got an exciting promotion going on. They'll tell us about that in our 9 o'clock hour. But let's get right into it with what's in the news. And in the news, this is the worst Groundhog Day ever. We are just every day talking about BPL and talking about issues in New Providence, issues all over the country. It continues. We had a little bit of a lull last week, I guess. I don't know what to make of that. After that disastrous press conference on Tuesday, things settled down for a little bit until Friday, Saturday. And the whole weekend for some areas just a nightmare. And it has continued straight up until last night, probably even this morning. And we are not alone. Duquesa, New Providence is not alone. As we know, other islands have lots of issues. But Grand Key is really going through it. Rachel Scott writing under the headline, In the Dark. Grand Key residents have been without power for not 6 hours, but 6 days? Days.
That is torture. That is cruel. That is horrible. Wow.
So Grand Key residents have been without electricity for more than 6 days now after the Key's generator suffered a major mechanical failure, according to Bahamas Power and Light, BPL. Last Tuesday, BPL advised that around 7 p.m. there was a power outage on Grand Key due to an operational fault, and that plans were underway to bring in a rental generation unit from Moores Island as a replacement. But on Sunday morning, BPL said the replacement generator intended to bring relief had arrived on the Key, and in an update yesterday, Monday, BPL advised the generator was damaged.
Wow.
It said, quote, our team has advised that the generation unit that was online and fully operational on Moores Island and was taken offline to be transported to Grand Key was damaged in transit to the Key and now needs repairs.
Unbelievable.
What are the odds?
Wow.
That seems a little strange, no? Anyway, I mean, this is, if they're not.
Wow.
Okay. Anyway, a Grand Key resident, Craig Cephas, telling the NASA Guardian yesterday, saying, quote, ain't no other choice, we surviving. Some people have portable generators, but the thing is, with the portable generators, gas over here is $8.25 a gallon.
Wow.
So I got to spend $90 a day on fuel. And I'm not even running my generator in the day, just running it at night.
That's insanity.
Wow. Cephas said that even before the outage, Grand Key was experiencing an inconsistent power supply despite increasing bills. The nearly week-long outage comes only months after the government paid Grand Key and Moores Island residents' power bills, remember this, in full in the weeks leading up to the general election.
Yep, I remember.
The move was deeply controversial and criticized by the opposition, which said the PLP was using government funds to buy votes. The Davis administration, though, said it was resolving long-standing electricity billing issues that arose in the aftermath of 2019's Hurricane Dorian and were made worse by the COVID pandemic. Well, F&M leader Michael Pintard said yesterday that the situation is interesting as he expressed his concerns over the continued challenges Grand Key residents are facing heading into a week without electricity. The Grand Key outage comes as several islands across the country have been faced with frequent outages. New Providence, of course, the summer outages are the worst in a long time, while both Abaco and Eleuthera are among the family islands that have faced persistent challenges for several years now. Wow. Oh, say something before we go to these calls.
I'm saying that I think now is the time that the powers that be at BPL have to consider compensation, particularly in situations like that. 6 days without power, that's inhumane.
Well, I mean, they'll probably be forced to. I'm sure the regulator will say something, but I mean, what's that going to do?
It can't be $8.45 though, Dwight.
Well, they'll determine based on the total number of impacted customers and divide it amongst them, whatever the settlement is. Wow. But that I mean, they can't expect that anytime soon. That's not gonna. And this is a bigger problem. So
yes, it is.
What's causing the frequent outages there? And I mean, you've got this. You can't even get stuff to the island without it being damaged. I mean, this story is a little wonky, but
wow.
Let's get your reaction to it, folks, before we even get into New Providence's issues. I don't think we have the time to list off all the areas that were impacted yesterday, between Sunday and yesterday. It's just almost everywhere. Almost everywhere. Just say most of New Providence. But let's talk about it. 323-6232. How bad can one entity's luck be? What is really going on? 325-4316. And this is not a Bahamas Grid thing because they're not involved in Grand Key and the other islands. So BPL is just what? 325-4259. Call us toll free. Call us from Abaco, maybe or Grand Key or Eleuthera. Let us know what you've been facing. 242-300. If it can work. 242-300-5720. That's a toll-free call. 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us. 422-4796. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Dwight, why did you remind us about that press conference again, sir?
I'm never going to let you forget.
Dwight, we was just trying to forget that one.
Why would you try to forget that? You must not never. They tried to blame us for their foolishness.
We try. I hope we were able to save them some power this weekend. You know, we were able. At least no one is going to come back to us today and tell us, you know, we had less power demand on the weekend because we was in blackout. Nobody can tell us thank you for enduring it, but be it as it may. Dwight, you ever heard? I think it's a nursery rhyme that says "Na na na boo boo." Have you ever heard like when children TV?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, this morning when I saw the story that you just read about being in darkness in Grand Key, remember when we here in Nassau in particular were having billing issues? We wasn't. The bills were too high. No one saw it fit to assist us more than the $21 or the $8 that we were given in rebate. No one saw it need to assist us. But they went down to Grand Key and paid those bills, saying that it was something to do with post-Dorian, this, that, the next thing, and that was the best time to do it. However, here we are today with those very same people having been out of power for 6 days. You mean to tell me that no one in VPL had the foresight to see that their infrastructure needed upgrading and to invest those resources into their infrastructure versus what they did at that point in time? And so I'm left.
Well, I don't know if it was BPL's decision to pay off their bills. I mean, that was the government. So I don't think that's how it went. Now, you're saying someone in the government should have put the money.
I get what you're saying, but it's confusing now because so now you're telling the government could help us and ain't helping us. It's confusing
Well, I mean,
to some people.
you
I
knew
get
that
what you're
you
saying,
knew that
Dwight.
since you were a child, didn't you? No,
What's that?
we've known that since one of the first things you learn in life. It should be, especially around here.
Sorry this morning, Dwight. I had no choice but to say. I mean, I'm not. It's not in a teasing context, right? But
No, I mean
I
that
have
was
no
kind of cold. Do that to those poor people. Like, they didn't do anything. This wasn't on them. They didn't.
Oh Lord.
That was a political move during election time. So they had nothing to do with
you
that.
Can't help but feel. You can't help but feel some kind of way.
No, that's because you've been in a power deficit for too long, and now you're being mean because you haven't had enough electricity. We'll forgive you. We'll forgive
Side
you.
effects.
Yeah,
Side effects.
that's we'll forgive you for that. You cannot hate on our people. They had nothing to do with that. That was not on them. Oh boy. That's harsh. That's harsh. I hope people aren't thinking like that. That'd be very weird. Very strange.
Well,
wow.
I don't know, Dwight.
Huh? What do you mean? You weren't thinking that, were you?
No, I really wasn't thinking that way because it's hardship. It's hardship to be without electricity for an hour. So imagine 6 days.
Gas is $8.25.
And it would be.
Oh,
it would
man.
really, really. It would. I don't even know how to say it. It's like you both allegedly.
What?
And now people are in darkness. That's crazy.
Well,
allegedly.
Those words.
That's
those are
crazy.
Interesting words to use there. I don't know if that happened, but wow. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're live on the air.
Dwight and DeQuesta, good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me put something very interesting on the table this morning for we as Bahamians to consider. The smaller locations such as Moores Island, smaller community, smaller footprint. I'm right now at this particular juncture listening out for the plans to solarize the smaller communities like that, saying that New Providence is not truly a priority per se in terms of instant solar. The smaller communities such as Moores Island, I think we could get a smaller solar plant down there, solve that problem, get them off this BPL, whether it's bunker C they're using down there, whatever, and try to get these smaller communities up and running. Same thing we could say about Harbour Island. Same thing we could say, some of the smaller populace that is around us. But we got to start somewhere. We are not hearing the consistent conversations on moving us away from fossil fuel and putting us direct onto solar energy, saying that we have to sun the majority of the year. Where are these conversations? Even if they're being held in silos, we as the Bahamian populace are being annoyed with the seemingly regressiveness of our society, with all of these basic necessities now, because electricity is no longer a luxury. It is a necessity. I need to hear our officials really get serious about taking care. Start with the small things and then build up to the big ones. All these millions of dollars that has been missed or can't find it or whatever. We're spending the monies on airports and stuff, but you can't even keep the lights on for the people. Come on, man, we got to fix this thing, okay? And my last point, we as Bahamians, seriously, we're tired of over and over and over. They seem like they're not coming off the table. We need to now start forward, upward, and onward, and progress, okay? Pun intended. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Wow. Let's take another call. Call in again, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. He was talking about Moores Island, but the issue at the moment is with Grand Key. But I guess it could work on many, many different islands. Caller, what say you? Good morning.
Good morning, Nana. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you? Wonderful. Dwight, morning, Dwight.
Good morning. Good morning.
Listen to me. Grammy boy got to keep it real. Let's stop complaining for 4 years. 4 years. Because the voice of the people have spoken. Everybody figured we got to put these fellas in for another term and secure their pension for them.
So what we complaining about? What are we complaining about? From I used to work the BTC and go to Grand Key with Howard and Rusi and all them. Now they've been having generator problems and then BTC problems. This problem means just like this here the other day. They've been always having them problems. You understand? Instead of them tell them you pay our light bill, fix our generator. No, they go for the easy way out. So I ain't too feel sorry for them. The only thing about it is that they have a marina down there where they house yachts, and then they do a lot of fishing and then crawfishing and stuff like that. So I can imagine what happened to their stuff. But hey, Behemoth, let's stop complaining for 4 years because we did this to ourselves. And we could continue to do it.
I mean,
thanks for taking.
Are you thinking things would have been very different if people had gone a different direction? Are you saying that? Or
Pardon me?
You think things would have been very different if we'd gone a different direction?
Right. Let me tell you something. The Titanic was a big boat. You understand me? And there were some lifeboats on that boat when that boat was clean. It wasn't enough. But instead of jumping in the lifeboats, a lot of people jump in the cold water. You understand me? If I got to jump in whatever lifeboat it is to get me to safety or the shore, I gain in that. Especially if the alternative is worse than jumping in a lifeboat. We had the opportunity to do it, and we squandered it. So let's stop complaining for 4 years, man. Thanks for taking down the boycott. 4 more years.
I hear you. I mean, I get the point you're trying to make, but I mean, that's not exactly how democracy works. You still are to be a participant in the running of the country.
Everyone didn't vote for the same, even though the majority of whatever percentage of people did turn out. You know, people still chose who their candidate of choice or party of choice was. So, not everyone chose.
But that doesn't have anything to do with anything, though. Right?
And that's a good question,
irrelevant.
right? Because what would have happened if that's a valid question. The system is the system.
Yeah.
So that's a very interesting question. Would it have been different?
So I'm picking up. That's 2 callers now who are kind of like.
Nah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, no one deserves this. And again, I don't think they were begging for their bills to be. They might have been promised some things, but they didn't have anything to do with that. Really, that's not fair. 6 days.
No, that's cruel. That's
Come on.
Cruelty. That is cruelty.
Wow.
But so they said that if there was a fault that tripped, it just brings up so many questions about preventative.
Well, the generator failed.
Maintenance.
Mhm.
Yeah. When was the last time someone was out there to service it? When was the last time somebody visited it? And just like, I don't know, do you keep a log of every 3 months you check this or you change that? Or
I
like,
don't have enough paper or computer space for that.
I'm being serious, Dwight. Where is the preventative maintenance? Like, if you have a generator, before it break down, you would have people come out to your house, well, hopefully, and service it every year. Big corporations like BPL should have a rotation of their maintenance of some of these things and indicating weakening on it. When is the expected time that this might do this? And like, seriously?
Should. Lots of things should happen. But again, they're stretched. They've got many different islands, many different systems, and a lot of people who aren't, as the Prime Minister even says it, a lot of the operational knowledge is no longer with the company, and people who might not be willing or able to get to these far-flung parts of the country. So many challenges.
I mean, that just brings up a whole other, what happened to succession planning? What happened to making sure that you train, like use your experienced employees to train those who are coming up behind them? Like, I'm just saying.
Well, you need to ask whether there are people who are interested in working in these sectors.
I mean, they have people working now, right?
Maybe not enough.
Oh my God.
No,
Okay,
with the number of outages we're seeing.
Something has to happen.
Something's wrong.
It's a total revamp. It's like something has to happen.
But again, I'm looking. I just don't understand the odds that the generator would be damaged in transit. That is just wild. Now, it is a good distance between Grand Key and Moores Island, but strange, very strange. Caller, what say you? Good morning. You're live on the air.
I'm taking my call. both of you. I think there needs to be a look into how this generator got damaged. Yeah, I mean, we can't just let it fly over. The generator got damaged. We don't know whether someone deliberately damaged the generator or not. And I think there needs to be an investigation because that might actually spread some light onto why we're having these issues with these outages.
I mean, things happen. It could be an accident. Could be
It could
just
be.
bad luck. Could be.
It could be.
But
Could have
it
been.
is such a coincidence, though. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I just hope we can get to the bottom of it and be sincere, because I think we're lacking the sincerity from this company as to what really is the problem. I mean, I'm hearing transmission, distribution. I'm only hearing these surface transformers overheating. Okay, fine. But is it like your co-host? Is it really we are not maintaining what we have?
I think people aren't going to be able to speak the truth from the company.
No, they can't.
Right? Because
They can't.
it's going to make certain other people look really bad.
Yeah.
And so we need those people to find the truth within themselves. And that's going to be incredibly difficult. That's going to be as hard as keeping the lights on all the time in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
So don't expect that. But it's as bad as you think, maybe much worse.
Worse. Yeah.
And
Probably
it's
worse.
and it is all the people you think it's all their fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Anyway, have a
now
wonderful
what?
day, folks.
Thanks a lot. So this is even worse than we thought. So I'm getting this information. So don't expect any calls from Grand Key. Seems the telecommunications company might be having some issues, and and there's also no internet. Only people with Starlink have internet access, and the water isn't working because the power is off.
Oh no.
Wow.
No. That's horrible. That's torture.
Wait, so how are they pumping the gas? And the gas is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
gas stations have a generators, so you could pump the gas to put it in the generator.
I guess.
Wow.
It just sounds like an overall. It sounds like an overall nightmare.
Yikes!
For the people that live there. You know. I mean, that's a small enough island that they could solarize like the entire island. It's small enough that the government could have a solar plant.
Well, I don't know. I've never been, so I don't know if they have the space. But you could put stuff on everybody's buildings, I guess. Maybe.
Something.
It'd be good to know what the individual plans are for some of these areas. So hey, if you're in New Providence and every day over the last 6 days your power has been going off, at least it hasn't been off for 6 whole days. Which is a little bright, tiny silver lining thing, like a little sliver of light in your power outage. Think about
I don't think
that.
anybody cares about that, Dwight, honestly. I feel
6 days
that
is
if
terrible, though.
6 days is terrible. An hour wherever you are, that is, maybe tolerable, but 4, 5, 6 hours in the summer heat and at night. I saw someone on social media asking about whether the grid will be stabilized for September because these kids are going back to school. If they can't sleep in the night without electricity, how are they supposed to function in the day? And that's a very valid question.
Well, don't act like it never used to happen before.
But it's worse now.
Okay.
It's just tell me something, and you may have did it right. I see a former prime minister has a video out about how they supplemented generation and they rented generators and all these different. What happened to that? What happened to those generators? What happened to that supplement for electricity that was around? Where did it go?
I don't know. I mean, the Wärtsilä engines are still there. I don't know if that's what he was talking about, but stuff is still there. We were shocked last week when they announced that the Wärtsilä engines were to be ran all along under the Minister administration to be converted to LNG once we got that up and running. But apparently they've scrapped that plan and will continue to use the terrible fuel they're using now. So that's surprising, and I don't think we got a real explanation. We just were told that's not going to happen anymore. Like,
Wow.
I don't know. So, and then that's another issue. Somebody's saying the issue is not generation, the issue is transmission and distribution. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't think it is accurate. But who knows? Who knows?
This is the worst that it's ever been.
I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say.
An indication that maybe a total failure isn't far off. This is crazy.
This kind of feels like a total failure. But I don't know if it's distribution and transmission. And again, on the other islands, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But all around, we have a problem. It's all a problem. Whether it's BPL or BGC, this is terrible. And something has to be done. And we cannot say this is growing pains. This is absolutely not that. This is something. But I see people are dancing and modeling and doing all kinds of things other than getting down to fixing the problems. Let's take some more calls. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, the question.
Hi, good morning.
Dwight,
Good morning.
I just sorry asking. I guess BPL is going to keep you in the dark about that strategy for resolving these issues, huh? Because the government has kept us in the dark. Right. One of your previous guest hosts used to give you the answers at least once a year, you know. Her name was Pam. And she used to tell you, go to the budget book. And when you go to the budget book, you could see we've been BSing ourselves for a long time. Now, right, if you go to today's budget book, right, if my numbers are correct, I remember, I think we have $1.8 billion and that's what, 42% of the total budget gone. Then throw in another $1 billion for the public service debt, and then you do everything else. The ultimate thing is that when you talk about running a country like an archipelago, essentially when you start talking about infrastructure budget and capital development budget, all sections, we have less than $415 million to run a country that probably cost 3 times that amount just for upgrades and maintenance. And so we have been doing what most of the people in the country build. It's been kind of like juggling our finances. Let's patch over here, let's fix over there. The wife says, hon, we need a new stove. No, we're going to have to buy a kerosene. Of course, that kerosene, that's oil thing you buy from the store, you screw in. And because we have not asked what it takes, because we have not grown the country in such a way. And the money we have gotten, we have squandered. Dwight, do you know there's nothing wrong with debt? All of the billion-dollar companies and things around the world you see is built on debt. Because there's nothing wrong with debt that we're seeking to reduce. If you borrow $1 billion, even at 6%, if you have 6.5%, 7% growth, it covers the 6% liability and gives you some other room. The problem is that doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. What we're seeing here is the fact that BPL needs billions of dollars to resolve legacy and future-focused development, and would we have as leadership the fortitude or the ovarian audacity to tell us the truth of where we are so we could fix the boat. What we do is we keep sending people to the bottom in the chambers and tell them to stick their finger on another hole that is created by our failure to do repairs. And so until we begin to BPL is dead. It is dead. We are just pumping blood into a comatose patient and simply saying, well, nobody wants to pull the plug. Nobody wants to tell the family, which is us, that the patient is dead.
Yeah.
And so until we actually recognize where we are as a country economically, we will keep doing the same thing. It's in the budget, right? All of the answers we're looking for is right in there.
All right. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. BPL is dead. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad. Scrap the whole thing and start over.
Start over.
And yeah. Got a lot of your text messages. Let's get to these. This is why we ought not to complain. Power goes out for a few, but Grand Keys said they're surviving, so we all need to stop complaining. Okay. Well, I mean, that's easier said than done. Some people are really having a hard time here, right? They've got health issues. Things are being destroyed. So it could be worse, right? Things could be a lot worse. And so don't stop complaining, but just remember, people are suffering more, even more than you are. And make sure you complain to the right people, because I don't think some of these people get it. And remember now, a lot of them have generators and have gone off the grid and are around here talking about how, you got to be patient and give them the benefit of the doubt. And please be quiet.
Eat it out or go to the beach.
Or go to the beach. You are not understanding the problems that people are having here. So you're saying these very insensitive things, and it's hurtful. Yeah, can't say stop complaining, but things could be worse. This person says here that $8 was an insult. You're not understanding. That was a part of a huge number that had to be divided amongst all the customers, all the residential customers who were in good standing at that time. So it wasn't that this is weird. It wasn't like that. And so please. This person says the Grand Key residents got their power bills forgiven by BPL in April, so they need to do that again. Okay. Grand Key is a fishing village, so the August lobster season is lost. Hundreds of thousands of dollars lost at the beginning of the season. This is a crime against humanity and the Bahamas. The International Court of Justice needs to get involved and arrest the cabinet as criminals. Wow. Okay. What do you think of that? DeQuest, you like that one?
They just might be criminals.
Well, do you want to rebrand the 7 o'clock hour as the Power Hour? Because the updates don't stop. You can lobby Marlin Marine or some other generator retailer to sponsor it. Or lack of Power Hour. Uh-huh.
I was just going to tell you, don't do it because you probably won't have power to
Right. It's so sad the Bahamians have grown to accept such mediocrity for so long from the power provider. Yeah, from as long as I've been alive, it's been like this. It's been some years have been better than others, but it's always been a problem from when we were young. But it was different back then, though. You remember? It was like you heard thunder, like, oh, boy, get the lamps, right? Get the candles.
Right.
And you knew, right? Oh, it's raining hard. Oh, boy, get the candles. But there would be an issue.
Now it's not even
right.
raining.
It's just a sunny day, power goes off. It's night, power goes off. It's raining, power goes off. It's a little bit of wind, power goes off. Car accident, power goes off. Bird, power goes off. It's just like, what's happening now? But anyway, Dwight, this is beyond sad. Bahamians, wake up. Rise beyond party politics. This light saga is unacceptable. Every day the power is off. We need answers. It's more than answers now. I think we things bad. Everything needs to go. Plenty of the people involved need to go. We need action, not just answers. This texter says that this whole period for this administration, from they started their second term, has been bad luck. That speaks loudly. It's been one hit after another. It's been, it's only been, is it 3 months yet since the election? Almost 3 months, and it's been crazy. It feels like much longer than that, right? This texter says that BPL has been a total disappointment to all Bahamians. This is a disgrace. Maybe the Bahamian people need to go downtown in huge numbers demanding this government to fix this continuing issue. This one is talking about the taxis. We'll get to the taxi drivers and delivery drivers after the break. I want to talk about that quite a bit. This final text, well, we've got a lot more, but this text before we take a break. This person says this is a case of what's done in the dark will come out in the light, or is it done in the light will come out in the dark? I don't know. They're just collecting our money and not actually servicing the infrastructure. Yeah, wow. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
I just sat down with a plate of chicken, peas, and rice. Reached for the TV, grabbed the remote. All of a sudden, darkness grabbed me by the throat. The fan stopped spinning, the fridge went still. I sighed and said, well, here's the bill, courtesy of BPL. They've got us living by candlelight. One minute you're dancing, the next you can't see. Surprise, they shout.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
103, 5 minutes later, you're back to fanning yourself with yesterday's memories.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with DeQuesta Dean on this Tuesday morning. And boy, how long are we going to be playing this song, right? It just doesn't seem like any end in sight. But it works. It works. DeQuesta, so we got an update. This was sent at 7:32 this morning. BPL in their northern, they've got, based on the region. You with us, DeQuesta?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me, Dwight?
Yes, we can. Can you hear us? Based on the region, they have different WhatsApp channels. And so if you are in BPL's northern WhatsApp channel, at 7:32 they announced that, this announcement about Abaco. We are pleased to advise that power has been restored to Little Grand Key, where most people seem to live, following the successful installation of a rental generation unit. We understand how frustrating the lack of power supply is and sincerely apologize to the consumers in Little Grand Key for the extended outage. We thank you for your patience and understanding as the team worked relentlessly to restore power supply to the Key. So the 6-day nightmare for now has come to an end.
Yeah, that's great news.
Hey. Great news. My goodness. But renting. They're renting that. Rental generator.
Dwight, at this juncture, they have to do what they have to do to get the power on.
Yeah.
6 days?
Absolutely. All right, so we're talking about BPO. We're going to switch over in just a bit to another issue in the news, but just get your final comments in about it. We didn't even talk about New Providence, but we know New Providence has been going through it the past few days. Western New Providence especially. This is really, really awful what's been happening out there. Every day it seems. From the northern coast straight around, wrapped around to the southwestern coast and everything in between. Just been a really rough period for Western New Providence. Give us a call, folks. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us. 422-4796. How much longer will we have to endure this? And why are certain people so quiet? What's going on? Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Dwight.
Good morning.
Good morning, baby sis. Dwight, you have to go on with this. I look at it like this. Bear with me. We have issues with them with the Sovereign Wealth Fund. $700 million was transferred, as they say, right? So the NIF.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're only talking about the last $265 million leaving $200,000 in the account. We need an account for the $435 million where that gone since 2022. And if that was $700 million, and they only used $100 million raised and $40 million from one group for 25-year thing with the BPL. Why that $700 million or $400-something million could not be used to invest on us, the Bahamian people, into BPL? Now, what's the size of Grand Key and the population compared to Rum Key, which the Minister administration solarized Rum Key?
You mean Ragged Island?
Ragged Island. Sorry. Yeah. How many people do it? They might as well have solarized Grand Key, or they could have followed up that instead of come with their 25-year scheme and contract, I call it, on BPL. Just those thoughts.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Not really, but I hear you. Thank you very much. Remember now, Ragged Island had been destroyed by a hurricane, and so they needed to do something, and that was the plan. Grand Keys subsequently, with Dorian, all of the Abacos, right, went through something terrible. But that was the reason that happened. It wasn't just picked out of hot air why that was done. Is it the plan for other communities like these the remote islands with small populations? I don't know. And we do need to get an update on how it's working in Ragged Island. I don't know if the population has recovered. It's definitely smaller than Grand Keys' population. But interesting questions. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing well.
Great. I ran Key a few times, and one of the advantages, especially for the fishermen, I know it's kind of difficult with everything else, but one of the advantages with the fishermen is that for the fishermen, Grand Key basically almost sits right in between Grand Bahama and Abaco. And either way, sometimes it's either like a 45-minute boat ride to an hour boat ride. So that's a blessing in relation to that, because they can get their crawfish and so forth to either one of those locations, which they currently use as well. I think they have a fish house or two on the island, but those guys are they have generators and whatnot. But the advantage is that they sit, just about almost plump right between Grand Bahama and Abaco. So their fishing ability to be able to maneuver and get things going like that is not going to really be, thank God, any major effect on that aspect. So that's a blessing, because I heard somebody call and say one about the fishing and the lobster season and so forth. So just wanted to clarify that.
Okay. All right. I hear you. 100%. I hope you're not mixing it up with Moore's Island. It's a little bit in the northern part of the Abaco chain, but not very far from Grand Bahama. But sure, okay. But it'll be good to hear from them. It's been a rough 6 days. It's been a rough 6 days for them, indeed. Caller, good morning. You're live. Hi, are you there? Call us back, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-425-242, 300-5720. A couple messages, and then we do want to get to something else. This is, no, I don't want to read that. Okay, I don't want to read this text. No. Well, no, I don't think. Nah. Sorry. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Could you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I have a problem with my phone. Yeah, Dwight, if this thing continues with these blackouts, I know the government signed a contract with this company. I think it's 25 years. If this continues, I think they're going to have to cancel the contract and let BPL continue to grow like how it used to be. Because we didn't have much outages as we have now. So if this company cannot do it, then they're going to have to cancel it, eh? And let's get back to how we used to do things.
Okay. Again, I believe I hear you. I think I might even agree, but it's not certain whether they are the reason for the outages in New Providence. Not too sure. Everybody is like, one day it feels like it is generation, the next day it feels like it's transmission distribution. One day it feels like BPL just can't maintain what they're responsible for. And then, that last week was the first time we heard BGC say anything at all. And then BGC has nothing to do with the Family Islands, which have been having massive problems for a long time. So, anyway. All right, DeQuesta, let's move on. let's move on. Let's pray that today's not a bad day like yesterday and the day before for so many communities. But we'll see. We'll see. So you've been following this? They've got a mini little war going on, skirmishes here and there. The taxi cab and livery drivers at odds again, we're told. Our Latanya Roberts writing about it in today's NASA Guardian. So, following months of ongoing issues, members of the Bahamas Taxi Cab Union and the Bahamas Livery Drivers Union were at odds again yesterday outside Lynden Pindling International Airport. Livery drivers yesterday briefly blocked the access of the taxi drivers to the airport. Taxi Cab Union members expressed to several media houses that they would stage a demonstration because of their ongoing frustration with what they're calling fare theft and preferential treatment. The Taxi Cab Union president, Wesley Ferguson, did not make an appearance, though, we're told. Although the livery drivers blocked the entrance, their president, the Livery Drivers Union, President Tory Austin, said yesterday that he thought it was a premature move. He said, quote, "We are still in some conversations with the Ministry of Transport, the Ministry of Tourism, and NAD, Nassau Airport Development Company, and hopefully soon with the Taxi Cab Union. When it comes to some resolution of the issues here at LPIA, we are still in negotiation talks of how we want to continue to do business here at the airport. I think it was a premature attempt by the taxi cabs to park in our positions, I guess to bully us out of the way. Fortunately, we went the right way about doing it. We maintain our professionalism, and that was able to be accomplished very quickly." Okay, a little confused. Anyway, previously the Taxi Cab Union staged a protest at LPIA, accusing the livery drivers of taking its fares at the departure doors. And we've previously had both unions on, and they both presented their sides, and we're able to see where both are coming from, but also we're to see where both are a little wrong on this thing. But we have made little progress, it seems, since then. And I think the last time we had them on was last year sometime. But here we are.
That's another situation that personally I am just sick of hearing about, or that's also enforcement, because the rules exist for a reason. But if no one is enforcing the rules, chaos is going to exist. There's a process for taxi, there's a process for livery. And there are people from road traffic and NAD or whatever stationed at the airport to kind of help with the flow of things as well. And, just how you said, Dwight, like the taxi drivers infringe on what the livery drivers are supposed to be doing, and vice versa. None is better than the other because they are both doing what they accuse the other people of doing. So we need to have a stronger enforcement by road traffic. That is absolutely necessary. And in addition to that, just the rules are there. There is a designated spot for taxis. There's a designated spot for liveries. Certain amount of cars should be in each of those spots. We just have to become lawful people. Like, it's just sickening that we cannot be lawful people.
Yeah. I'm going to hold my comments until I read this other story. Callers, just give us a second. I want to read this other perspective. This is from the Tribune on what's happened yesterday and what's going on. So this story says the Ministry of Transport yesterday warned taxi, livery, and tour operators that existing rules at Lynden Pindling International Airport remain in force amid competing accounts over a proposed 2-week trial that threatens to deepen a long-running dispute. The ministry, in a statement issued amid renewed tensions at the airport yesterday, said it remains committed to finding a workable solution, but warned that disruptions to airport operations will not be tolerated. It said, quote, "These issues cannot be resolved without cooperation from all sides. Unfortunately, one of the challenges has been getting all stakeholders to sit in the same room and engage constructively." Wow. Can't even sit in the same room. The statement coming as Tory Austin, the Bahamas Livery Drivers Union president, disputed claims that an agreement had been reached with the government for a 2-week trial, changing the way taxi and livery operators function at the airport. Austin said the livery union remains in discussions with the government and other stakeholders and insisted that no trial had been agreed upon. Saying, quote, I cannot speak to that because we know nothing of that. I don't know about any 2-week trial. I don't know about no trial. 1-week trial, 2-week trial, no trial I know about. Wow. All I can tell you is we are in discussions. We're having continued meetings with all of the partners that are necessary that needs to be involved, and no decision or final decision, no trial, no nothing has been in place at this point. So his comments come directly challenge the account given by Tyrone Butler, the taxi cab union president. He has asserted that following a meeting with Minister of Transport Leon Lundy, it was operators would no longer stand alongside taxi drivers and at the airport door while 3 livery vehicles would remain in places. The proposed changes were to be tested for 2 weeks, with the taxi queue also being extended by 3 spaces. However, the livery driver's position is that no final agreement has been reached. Austin said the union has been meeting with Lundy, senior government officials, and NAD in an effort to improve the situation. He said that the dispute would be better addressed through direct discussions involving all parties operating within the airport's transportation system, saying it's very important to have all the stakeholders that are involved. He added that the livery union has even attempted to meet with the taxi union to resolve their differences, and saying, quote, they deem us public enemy number 1, and they refuse to have any meetings with us. So the disagreement it is crazy. The disagreement over whether the trial exists came involving the allocation of parking spaces. Austin said livery operators arrived to find 2 taxis occupying spaces designated for livery vehicles, and they contacted NAD and requested that the taxis be moved so they could access their designated spaces. He said the livery drivers never blocked up anything. What we did was came to work, business as usual, and there were 2 taxis that were parked in our designated areas. The police came and made them move. We have 6 spaces that are designated for livery, and taxis occupied 2 of them early this morning, and all we did is ask them to move. We didn't approach the taxi drivers. We went to NAD and the police came and made them. There were no issues. But the taxi cab union president, Butler, blamed the situation on a failure by senior government officials to properly communicate the outcome of Wednesday's meeting. Oh, boy. So lots of confusion going on there. Okay, let's get your reaction to it. As DeQuesta says, it's going on far too long. It's become ugly at times. It is ridiculous. And I'm just going to insert here that, this is all unbelievable. This continues to happen when there is a massive segment of the population on this island underserved when it comes to public transportation or transportation entirely and being neglected while these folks fight over a tiny, tiny, tiny window of a pool or whatever you want to call it, when there could be so much more business if they would just negotiate about that and addressing these crazy prices that taxis charge for people on this island. But for some reason,
they should be able to step back. You can look and see in other parts of the world that taxis thrive, private vehicles thrive, Uber thrive, Lyft thrive. All these other companies everyone is getting a share. There is certainly enough work to go around, and we just need to be in the mindset of, that mindset, Dwight, there are people who are going to want a taxi. There are people who want to pay more for a private vehicle that they can schedule in advance, and they pay more for the convenience of having that car waiting, and they can choose what they want to go in and not just have to accept whatever next taxi pulls up. People have a choice.
Should have.
That should be respected. And Uber is illegal in the Bahamas, but if you look at Uber and Lyft and all of these other transportation companies, everyone is getting their share. And people, what is wrong with us?
We have to reimagine this whole thing, and I don't think a lot of people are prepared to do that. And I don't believe the government is. But something has to change, and we are really blowing it. blowing it big time. Let's hear from you. Let's get your reaction to all of this. And fighting over what? 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us 422-4796. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there? Call us back. You know we had you holding for a little bit. You were saying something, Duquesa?
I saw this lady on, I don't know where it was, she was writing, and she was talking about how embarrassed she was as a Bahamian. And she exited the departure area, and there were like these two drivers. I don't know what side of the spectrum they were on, taxi livery. I have no idea. But there was this loud argument in front of the tourists about who was going to get to carry her and who she should go with, and cursing and carrying on to get a fare in front of a tourist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that why don't of the impression that you're making, this is the person's first point of entry. And there's going to be this huge argument. And I understand it happens more often than we know.
Yeah, of course. Almost every day, it seems.
It's crazy.
It seems. Yeah, but they won't fight over us like that, though, which is really interesting. So somebody's asking, what's the difference between taxi and livery? So livery, it's supposed to be prearranged rides. So you booked it before you got here, or you booked it in advance. I need a driver to pick me up at this time on this day. Whereas a taxi is, I need a taxi right now. Get me a taxi. It's very different. But so you agree to everything.
Also, if a customer comes out of the airport and they want to say, I want a private
it's
vehicle,
not supposed to happen.
Right.
So that's why the taxi drivers are upset.
Book through the warehouse, book through a website, call in advance, whatever, and your driver should be there, like standing, waiting for you. So where are the drivers supposed to go who have prearranged transportation? How are they supposed to pick up their passengers?
Well, they have designated spaces. But the problem is that's what the taxi drivers are saying, that some of these are not prearranged, or prearranged like within a minute of you landing.
Right.
And they have an issue with that. They have an issue with that. Let's take these calls. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning.
All right. Let's be real with ourselves, sir. The country is in a turmoil between Haitian drivers and Bahamian drivers. Haitian Bahamian drivers, and this is where the problem lies at. I am a taxi driver. And what is happening right now, the country is being overrun by these immigrants, and that's where the problem is. There ain't no other thing. They trying to take over the industry that Bahamians own for years.
So it's not a livery versus taxi driver?
No, sir. It's a Haitian Bahamian thing going on by the airport. And if they got to be real, they got to stop lying to the public.
So
we have a problem with Haitian Bahamian fighting against Haitian, fighting against Bahamians, and this is what's going on in the whole industry. They have to stop lying. We have a problem because Haitian trying to take over the industry, and we don't want to allow it. The government stop lying and figure it out and get rid of these people who giving these people the plates who are not supposed to have the plate. Now, the problem is the government giving away so much plate that the foreigners just getting them working for Bahamians who really own the plate and for cheaper labor, and that's all it is. You rent my bus. I tell you, look, well, you got to pay me so much money by the end of the week. And that's what's going on. The problem is Haitian Bahamian fighting Haitians and Haitian Bahamian fighting Bahamians. That's the problem. There's no other problem. There ain't no more Bahamians out there. Right now, there's about 400 drivers out there. And the amount of Bahamian drivers out there is only like, I can be real with you, about 70 Bahamians out there. The rest is pure foreigners. Let them tell you the truth. Dwight, let them tell you the truth. We don't have no more Bahamian drivers out there. And that's where the problem is.
So, so you're saying that this is... I'm trying to understand. So why would the livery drivers union and the taxi drivers union, what's going on? Are they...
Look at all the union people. All of them is Haitian Bahamian. They are not Bahamian. And that's where the problem is. You think they can look out for their people? They're looking out for their people. They ain't looking out for our Bahamian. And that's where the problem goes. Government have to be real.
Can you tell me give me an example of, because I'm not understanding that just because you're Haitian or Haitian Bahamian, this is the issue. How are they creating an issue at the airport? What is it that's happening that's saying?
The issue is the Bahamian people are not getting a job. They're not aggressive as the Haitian set of people. And there's so much of them that they're overwhelming the Bahamian set of people. And the Bahamian people ain't going to allow them to do that. This our country, so we supposed to get the better part of anything in this country. And that's where the problem comes in.
Wow.
The people who own the taxi drive, what own the taxi, the bus, the Haitian, and the Haitian them just manipulating the whole system because there's so much of them. And then the people who are calling system, they are the Haitians, and that's where the problem comes in.
Okay.
Let them tell you the truth, sir.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Wow.
Wow.
My producer's nodding. Like you know this to be okay.
Wow.
Oh boy. I'm surprised we haven't said that's the problem with BPL. This is an excuse for everything around here. But I don't something doesn't sound right about that. Okay.
I don't know, Dwight.
Okay. I think you.
I honestly don't know. When you travel, seriously, Dwight, when you travel and you take transportation, let's just say you go to America and you take transportation, is there an American that's usually transporting you? Or could it be any national? I'm asking a real question. Or could it be any national?
I don't want to go down this road with you. What do you mean by that? That's a very weighty question. It's somebody driving me in America. I can't say.
I mean, what I'm trying to figure out is, does this person have a legal right to work?
Well, you never know.
Or is he talking about a problem where people are driving but don't have? I'm confused. Do you have a license to drive? Or he's alleging that people purchased that. Like, what exactly is the problem? Because if you are a legal resident of the Bahamas, you could work anywhere. So is it that they're not legal? Is it that Bahamians are?
You're asking some very good questions. Yes, because if they are of Haitian descent, then that is irrelevant to this, right? They're Bahamians and they are legal residents or citizens. What's that's something else. You just have a problem with people with Haitian backgrounds. Or you're saying actual Haitians with work permits? What are you saying? Okay, caller, what say you? Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys doing?
We are here. Good morning.
Good, that's right. Okay. So to address a couple of things you all just were discussing with the former caller, I'm also a taxi driver. But that is not the issue. That is part of the issue. And in reference to why they're a little bit that we were peeved with the fact that, out into the industry, is because by law, you have to be a citizen, not a permanent resident, not a resident, and not a work permit holder.
Okay.
You have to be a citizen. Now, it was a little bit insulting that you can tell us that this person who's now holding a taxi plate and a taxi badge, who you could still hear he's Haitian. How do you get citizenship? You got to born here, right? So if he's born here, why isn't he speaking like a Bahamian? He or she. Because it's male and female. So you know how they get citizenship if they ain't born here anyway.
Well, no, there are other paths to citizenship other than that. But okay. But we get
But they're
that.
not married. I know them personally.
You don't have to be married, but there are other paths. People can.
So let me
get
just ask
citizenship.
you, since you're on the call, can you tell us then how are they driving? How are they at the airport driving if they don't have the required?
They have the required documents, but they're questioning how did you get it.
Mm-hmm.
Now you do have the Haitian Bahamian. And yeah, they have citizenship, and their communication is quite clear. They ain't breaking up. You could hear they Bahamian and they born here, pretty much. But I don't have no problem. Personally, me, that's above my pay grade, and I'm out there to do what I need to do. And so that part of it, I just was speaking to it.
Let me ask you this. So is
now, in reference to, the livery and the...
Before you go on to that, is it as great a number as the previous caller was trying to suggest? Yeah?
Yes, now that body didn't exaggerate on that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then you were saying with delivery drivers.
Okay, now in reference to delivering the taxi drivers, the Haitian thing is not the main problem. This problem has been going on from they first started issuing black plates. Now, I've been in this business now 20 years, and when I came into the business, I met this going on. They were already and always having conflict, very aggressive in front of the guests at the airport, mainly at the airport. Now, seeing that government has issued these plates, what they have done is that they've made it, they've said that luxury vehicles such as limos, SUVs, the sprinters and those types of vehicles, those are vehicles on demand. And so, yes, they can be at the doors where the taxis are. And yes, but they're not here to take away from the taxi jobs. They're there when, somebody demands a luxury vehicle and they're willing to pay the rate. So in essence, I don't agree with all the fighting that's going on because, yes, they offer a different product than the taxis. And, yes, they are there to feed their family. And, yes, the government issued these plates knowing, I just think we all just need to live together, just find a solution and move forward, man.
I want to get your...
It's been going on too long and it's ridiculous. I know people who in their set there, I meet them out there and they still fighting.
Mm-hmm. So I want to get your opinion on what I said earlier, that that we need to revamp the whole taxi system so that it can be similar to what we see in other big cities, where you could just walk out your door and catch a taxi or call a taxi the way we used to do with the meter cabs. And taxis can be supplementing the public transportation system where people can afford to take a taxi, and there would be more fares for taxi drivers in a day as opposed to one big fare, two big fare. What do you think of that?
Yes, it's a disgrace to see how the taxi union has disintegrated. I mean, they were so strong back in the 70s. So this is disheartening to see that the taxi union president, those now and of past, they've not come together and put together. They're taxi drivers who don't mind driving. I just spoke with another lady, and she and I, this Aqua Ride thing. Okay, that's for anybody, including the locals. And so, that lends to, the demand was needed locally. But it's sad to see that the taxi union let it get out of our hands. Because there are taxi drivers who don't mind going in certain neighborhoods. When I came into the business, there was another lady. She only want work in the local. I used to call her for some of my international guests, and she said, John, I don't do that. I go into work 2 o'clock to take care of my locals. And that was great. Mm-hmm. So, Aqua Ride is there. Sometimes my son needs to catch a ride, and he does what he has to do. I mean, what happened is, the fare for the taxi drivers is when you let these other entities into the country. See, they're in countries where, the population is quite larger than ours. And so I think that's one of the fare. Taxi drivers tend to operate out of fear. They've been doing it their way for so long, but there is a little concern for me. When you do it, it just needs to be done properly. So it is a win-win on both ends.
Yeah. I really appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You guys have a wonderful day, man. Keep up the good job.
You too.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yes.
Dwight, I feel that in everything that we're talking about, the lack of enforcement in these government agencies. I spoke with this lady 2 weeks ago. She was talking about how she was staying at the Ocean Club and she had a taxi. Of course, it's a call-up system. A taxi came. She got in the taxi and she wasn't sure the taxi was going to pull the bridge.
What do you mean? The car was in such a bad...
Yes, and she got a taxi from the poop deck to go back to the Ocean Club. The taxi showed up with no air condition, and it was a short ride. But my concern is, how is how is the government regulating and enforcing that this particular vehicle is road ready to transport customers? Like taxi drivers their service can be so hospitable that a client could say, hey, I want taxi 333, come back for me. And they could call taxi 333 to come back for them. Like, how are you differentiating yourself? How are you making sure that your vehicles are clean, that the air conditions are perking and working, and it's not smoking, exhaust fumes, or all of these things are a hit against the taxi drivers.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to the previous caller said about the fear, right? I'm telling you now, if there were a real taxi system like what we see in other parts that we used to have here, more and more people would opt to park their cars. Especially to go to a festival and not have to worry about where to park or right drinking too much, whatever it is. So this would diminish the fear. If you build this, people will come. People will come. I'm telling you now.
Exactly.
We have to revamp the whole thing, and we have to readjust these prices because they're out of control. Let's take a few more calls, and we have to break for news. Caller.
Why you keep saying the taxi price rated? Sorry, you could do that after
there's still regulated. What the government's approved them, and they're out of control. This is insane. Who you have to? What is? Do you know how much it would cost me to get a taxi from the airport to where I live? I might as well fly there.
But is it the government regulated rate?
Yes.
Okay.
Government approves this and keeps. That's a problem. Like, who can afford this? Why would I do this?
There are other options, though.
Like what?
Because I believe every category has its customer. There may be someone who says, okay, I only want a taxi. It's a set rate. It's a metered rate. I mean, we don't have a meter, but it's a set rate if they're honest and they go by the rate. And then there's someone else that says, hey, I want to rearrange for Uber to come and pick me up because that's a rate that's more in line with what I want to pay. But if the government
again, that one is not quite legal yet, right?
I mean, it's not, but let's just be real. It's being done.
And by the way, can I just say, like, what's up with this place? There's no airport shuttle. Like, you can't, isn't that very unusual? You can't catch it. Anyway. Unless you're staying at a hotel. There's no.
Right.
That's kind of strange, though, right? But that's been, how many decades have we been functioning like this? Let's take these calls quickly.
And these are all great ideas that someone in a taxi field can look at and see that, okay, this is how I can pivot. This is what, this is a market that I can service. Like, seriously.
Yeah. Let's take this call. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Are you there? No, let's take the other line. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Okay, call us back. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Is that a call? No. All right. This text says, the major problem with taxi service is unskilled people who want executive level pay rates, and the government supports it because their members and friends own the plates. Long time. I have a problem. Oh, boy. The government has allowed Haitians to take over every industry in our Bahamas. Go check for yourself. I have a problem with Haitians who can't speak English. They have a whole Haitian tour service. They cater to Haitians who are rich and Haitian Americans. Okay. Well, sounds like.
So what?
Sounds like they're being industrious. I don't know.
That's exactly what I was going to say. They differentiated themselves and they found a market that works for them. What are you doing? Like, I'm sick and tired of hearing Bahamians say that the Haitians are too aggressive. Like, are you just going to sit down and be passive? What are you going to do? Are you going to talk more? Are you going to be innovative? Like, why are you letting them corner the market and all you want to do is protest?
Wow. This texter says, I don't care. I will say these taxi drivers drive like idiots. Whoa, that's all I have to say. Well.
Ain't lie. Well. Some of them do.
I'm sorry, but the Minister of Transport and, okay, well, they're talking about something else now. That person's no longer the Minister of Transport. Okay. One call. Yep, and then we got to go. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Strong. Good morning, Dr. Cresso.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, I just want to make a quick comment as it relates to something that just happened. I was in close proximity, and so I heard, and it disturbed me, right? It concerns the jitney drivers that needs much oversight. Now, this is something that I heard, and I saw the relevant authorities dealing with this particular bus driver. I won't say the number, But it was found out that the bus, the license plate didn't match the road he was supposed to be on. It was a fake license disc, and the driver didn't have a public service license. I can't remember if it was insured or whatever, but the person showed like a political party affiliation kind of their duties, right? And so that was very frightening for me. But, in this country, right, Dwight, we have, I don't know what's going on. Is there anybody down with vehemence? I mean, the problem is we can't just keep dismissing everything. I don't know if you guys saw the video for coming from RDB Lucha. But the thing is, we must look at the future. And most of the people commenting, they don't have any children. So there's no empathy towards us. Who's caring about us? I mean, let's take it easy on vehemence, man. This is our place. We born here. You know what I mean? We are assimilated. I'm old, right? At my age. So I know about living with in a cosmopolitan society. But, people should have a right to express themselves. But that situation with the bus, a guy was on one of your shows, and he was talking about these things that's going on in the bus industry. And so that's something serious for me. All right.
Okay. Well, I don't know how you know most of the people commenting don't have children, but okay. Yeah, let's take that one. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. Are you there?
Hi, good morning.
Hi, turn on your radio for us, please. Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure. You guys surprised me there. Yeah, we talking about problems, right? For Monday morning, right? Always. But I just wanted to point something out, Dwight. We in a time of all-time distrust. I mean, it's not only locally, it's globally. Everybody's fees here and there. Taxes are going up. There's no Freedom of Information Act in 2026, which is unbelievable. But I wanted to point to a particular situation. I don't know if I could say the gas station, but there's a gas station I went to yesterday, and, the gas prices are published every morning, which I assume to be genuine and up to date. So I thought it was a misprint yesterday. And today, the same gas prices were priced. But there's a gas station out east in Fox Hill by a main thoroughfare. And they have the gas prices 46 cents more than it's published in the papers. I don't know if that's allowed. I don't know if they can do that. But
sometimes what gets to the papers is hasn't been updated yet, so it's quite possible.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. This was yesterday. The papers were published again today, and it's the same price as yesterday.
Yeah. So, I mean, have you checked to see all of that particular brand's stations to see if that is just one station or is it all?
I have not, but I'm saying, Dwight, this is defeating the purpose of having, these systems in place. I mean, we try to live in an up-to-date technological system. I wake up in the morning, I check the paper, the gas price is this, that, okay, so I'm going this, and plan my route, and then it's another thing. Then
good, but but hopefully they'll get it right tomorrow. Let's hope they'll get it right tomorrow.
Just checking differently.
Yeah. So I'll make a note to because I think they provide us with the numbers, and sometimes the number he gets. But anyway, we'll check on it. But yeah, that's rough. That's rough. All right, we got to take a break. The Quessa, I fear we're going to be 2 years. Still talking about this taxi livery situation. 5 years, 10 years.
For life.
Yeah,
For life.
It just is not going to get any better. We're going to still be saying we need Uber-type services. We're still going to be saying the fares are too high. We're going to still be saying all of this because it just doesn't look like anything is changing. Interesting stuff. We'll be back. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
I was a deep sea diver, and when I want to pass, I would match the gas. I was a taxi driver. Now tourists don't really know our country, how this thing go. A car coming on the other side, between the seat they won't hide. Look out, they shout with discontent. They think we have an accident. Say we driving on the wrong side. By the law we don't abide. But I was a taxi driver, was a deep sea diver. And when I want to pass, I would mash the gas. I was a taxi driver. I say I was a
Wendy's is spicing things up this summer with the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger. A hot, juicy beef patty topped with spicy jalapenos, creamy ranch sauce, melted cheese, and fresh toppings for the perfect balance of cool and spicy. Every bite brings bold flavor that keeps you coming back for more. Turn up the flavor with the new Jalapeno Ranch Cheeseburger at Wendy's today. Available for a limited time only.
New school year, new gear. A Fidelity personal loan can help you check every item off of your kid's school list. Jump into back to school season with ease. Apply for a Fidelity personal loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, good for you.
Hey, did you ever sort out the car insurance?
I thought you did.
No, I sent it to you.
You sent me the reminder.
Okay, hold on. Okay, done.
Done?
Yeah, renewed.
By Insurance Agents and Brokers gives you access to a full-service insurance portal where you can get an instant quote, renew, pay, and manage your documents. All fully online. With NUA, you have a complete insurance portal. Start now with an instant quote at nuainsurance.com.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app. Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Tuesday, August 11th, 2026. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. And this morning we are talking with Commonwealth Bank. They've got a big 3-week promotion, the Auto Extravaganza coming up. Very happy to have back with us Assistant Vice President of Marketing and Business Development, Winrick Clark. Good morning, sir. Good to see you. Let's get that mic up there.
Good morning, Duquesa. Good morning, Bahamas.
And I hear this is your birthday today.
It is.
You're working on your birthday. We're so glad to have you here on your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Duquesa. Appreciate it.
Duquesa's going to sing for you a little bit later. All right. So let's talk about it. A big promotion, Auto Extravaganza.
Yes, sir. So coming up, starting, Dwight, on the 15th of August, which is this Saturday coming, we're going to have a 3-week-long auto extravaganza happening at all of our branches across the country, with the exception of Spanish Wells. So in Abaco, in Grand Bahama, and all of our branches here in Nassau, all of our car dealer partners will be with us at our branches for 3 weekends on a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., where all of our customers and soon-to-be customers are able to stop on by and drive off in a brand new spanking car, if it is that you're in the market for a brand new car, or if you're looking for back to school, or you're looking for hurricane preparedness or generators. You know what's going on right now with the power.
Gosh, wow.
Whatever you need, hurricane impact, support for the hurricane season.
Can get
you can do
solar panels.
Solar panels.
Oh,
you can
great.
do all of that on Saturday while we're having the auto extravaganza.
So it's not just autos.
Not just autos. So anything, because we're open on Saturday at these branches that we're going to be at, with the exception of 2. So you can go at East Bay and Town Center, though the branch will not be open to the public. You can still go for the purpose of looking at the cars that's going to be parked at those lots.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's talk about the cars first, and then we'll get to the other things
Absolutely.
that you might need.
Absolutely.
So anything special that we need to keep in mind? Any special rates with the cars, or
Absolutely. So right now we are offering special rates on our cars. So a gal say come and get them while they're available to you to get. Of course, we want to make sure that you know that want you to come walking ready with information so that we can have fast turnaround. So you want to walk with your passport, your NIB card, your job letter, your pay slip, and also bring, if you have the invoice or not with the car. So even if you go to one branch and the car that you want is not there, we can assure you that it'll be at one of the other branches and we can get you the invoice to close on that deal.
All right, also, say the things again that you need to bring.
Your passport, your NIB card, your job letter, your pay slip, and we'll support you with the invoice and the insurance, because we have 3 insurance companies that are going to be partnering with us, that Management and Star General. So you don't have to worry about a quote on insurance. We have all of that taken care of for you with the partners we'll have on site on Saturday.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
So can you? Yeah.
Yes,
question.
ma'am.
So 2 questions actually. The first one is the rate standard, or would the rate be based on your qualification level? That's one. And if you have an existing loan, are you doing consolidation?
Absolutely. So first of all, yes, we do have a special rate now. That we have a campaign rate that's going on, and it is determined based on how well you qualify. So the better qualified you are, the better your rate offer. And then, of course, if you're in the market and you need to consolidate because you have some loans here and there, absolutely, we're there to support you with consolidating and lowering your monthly payments and getting more disposable income back into your hands. Absolutely.
All right. So, Winter Clark, what would make you a better qualified candidate?
So there's how long you've been on your job, just simple things like that. So there's nothing extra special. How long you've been on your job, how your credit rating and that sort of thing. More the internal things that we look at to assess credit. But certainly that doesn't mean that you're, whatever it is, however you're assessed, we have a product and we have great rates, affordable rates for all of our customers, no matter how they qualify. Absolutely.
Now, if one of your competitors offered me a rate, could you match it? Could you beat it? How does that work?
First of all, Dwight, why are you at the competitor? That's the first question. And the second thing is, absolutely. So I would tell you, we have some of the best and lowest rates right now in the market. Wow. And not only do we have some of the best rates in the market, we have the fastest turnaround time of any of our competitor banks. I stand 10 toes down on that. We have some of the most amazing credit officers and leaders in our branches. So I'm telling you, once you walk in, you're going to get great service with a smile, and you're going to get the fastest turnaround time that your heart can imagine when you come and bank with Commonwealth Bank.
How fast? How fast?
You want me to tell you how fast?
Yeah,
If I tell you how fast, right, then our competitors could be starting to sit down and figure out how they can beat us. I'll tell you one thing. If you come on Saturday with everything that you need at Commonwealth Bank, there is a large possibility that you can drive off in your car on Saturday.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
So
Thank
is
you.
it by salary deduction only, or are you open to others, or mostly it has to be a salary deduction?
The primary thing, but if you don't work at a place where we can get salary deduction, that does not mean that we cannot help you. So still come in, whether we can get salary deduction or not, and talk to one of our experienced credit officers, and they'll be able to guide and direct you how we can support you going forward. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So how long do the terms last for the cars? What are we looking at?
So you can get up to 8 years as a term on the car, on a brand new car. And that applies to just brand new cars. Of course, used cars is a little different. Again, once you get into the branch and have the conversation, they'll be able to guide you as to how that would work. But certainly you can get up to 8 years and very competitive rates on a brand new car.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Wonderful stuff. And so who's going to be there? Which new car dealers are going to be there?
So all of the dealers are going to be there. Let me just give you the rundown. At our Plaza branch, we're going to be having our Nassau Motor Company and Quality Auto. At East Bay branch, we're going to have Nassau Motor Company and Quality Auto. At our Oaksfield branch, we'll have Sandpin Motors. In Marsh Harbor, Abaco, we will have EV Motors. Town Center Mall, EV Motors. At our Freeport branch, we will have Easy Car Sales. At Cable Beach, we will have Easy Car Sales and Cherry or Supreme Auto. At our Wolf Road branch, we will have Tire Flex and Bahamas Bus and Truck. At Golden Gates, we will have Sandpin. And at Prince Charles, we will have Auto Mall and Elite. All of them will be there.
My head is spinning. That's a lot. Saying everybody. Okay. All right. You're going to have it. It's well represented. Everyone's going to be there.
Absolutely.
My goodness. Okay. And the setup. So how does it work? You walk in there and then what do you do?
So you're going to see 2 or 3 cars or more parked outside of our various branches. You'll see the Commonwealth Bank feather flag. So once you see that, just walk on in. Some of our credit officers and car dealers, partners, they will be outside in the parking lot under a tent. So you can just pop on by if you want to sit in a car, see what it feels like, and get some information about the specs on those cars. The car dealers will be there, the subject matter experts, to share with you exactly all of those key features of those awesome cars that they have. And then, of course, our credit officer teams will, once you get your quote, what you're looking at as a monthly payment, because big thing, we want to make sure that you have affordable monthly payments. And so they'll be able to help you with how we are able to structure those deals on Saturdays.
Okay. All right. Wonderful stuff. So let's talk about some of the other things. If you're not in the market for a car, you can come in and talk about almost anything else.
Anything. Branches with the exception of, but even there, even the branches that are not open, you could still have a conversation with our experienced credit team about any of your financial needs that you may have. If you're in the market for debt consolidation, if you're looking for a credit card because you're traveling, if you're in the market for hurricane preparedness, you want to buy solar panels, hurricane shutters, if you want to do a generator for your house because, whatever it is that you're in the market, or even if you're looking to still go on vacation, there's still time for that. And of course, all of our parents that are looking to do back to school, whether your child is going to private school here in the island or if they're going back off to university, come and have a conversation with us so that we can help you with back to school as well. And if you're also in the market for products, come in and we're able to help you on Saturday.
All right. So if it's any of those things, what do you need? Same thing?
Same
come with
thing.
All those things?
Absolutely. So the same thing you want to come with the exception of property and all that stuff. Of course, there's more documentation that you would need. But certainly for the other facilities that I just mentioned, it's the same thing. Your passport, your job letter, your NIB card, your pay slip, and any invoices that you may have for the purchase that you're going to make. That'll help us to speed up the process. Absolutely.
Yeah. And special rates for any of these things?
Commonwealth Bank always has special rates, right? So all the things that I just mentioned, we are still in campaign mode. So you would be happy to hear that. And certainly when you sit down with our experienced credit team, they'll be able to share with you the rates on all of those various products and services that we offer so that you're getting positioned with the best rates in the market as well.
Yeah. I'm curious. I mean, what are you seeing in terms of people coming in for generators and solar panels? Are you seeing
You'll be
great
surprised.
interest?
I mean, there's a great interest, especially now with what's going on with power outage. A lot of folks are looking to, outfit their homes with generators so that in the event they have, power outage, they're not in the dark. Especially coming up now with the hurricane season, we don't know what that's going to be like. We prayed the covering of Jehovah Jireh of our country to make sure that we don't have any catastrophes. But if it is that it does happen, certainly we are there to support with hurricane preparedness as well, again, going into the season. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else you want people to keep in mind? We always get a text every single time we have these, like, people should save instead of going to the bank. What do you say to folks out there who are thinking like that?
I would say this to you. I mean, there's in terms of if you have money, use the bank's money, right? And the bank can also help you to achieve whether it's long-term, short-term goals and put you on a path to financial health as well. And that's one of the things that I value at Commonwealth Bank. We are on this journey as well of putting our clients in the best financial position. So that's why I'm saying right now, sit down with any of our experienced credit officers, our branch management team, assistant branch managers. They are equipped to have a very robust conversation about where you are planning to go with your finances, both now and in the future, and set you on a path to achieving all of your financial objectives when you come to CB.
Yeah.
Wow. Absolutely.
Wow. Okay. All right. So remind folks, beginning this Saturday, what's going to be happening?
Absolutely. So stop on down to Commonwealth Bank at any of our branches across the country, with the exception of Spanish Wells, where we'll be having Spanish Wells, given some logistics challenges. But not to worry, Elutra, we're coming to you very, very soon with our very own things that we have planned for you, Elutra. So hold tight. And that also applies to Exoba and some other places as well. So don't have no fear. Commonwealth Bank is here. But on Saturday, we will be having all of our major auto dealers available with cars at all of our branches, all of our locations. Stop on by. You can drive off in a brand new car before back to school. You could drop your kids off in a brand new spanking car come September when school opens. And of course, any other financial need that you may have, Commonwealth Bank is here to be of great support to you.
Okay, all right. And I have a special message here from the staff at Commonwealth Bank wishing you a happy birthday.
Thank you, guys.
Today.
Love you guys.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Your birthday, you're a good man. All right.
Thank you, Dwight.
Good to see you. Enjoy. And thank you very much, Winrick Clark with Commonwealth Bank. The big 3-weekend auto extravaganza begins
This Saturday,
Saturday.
the 15th. And allow me one last thing, Dwight, to speak directly to the team at Commonwealth Bank. Really appreciate it. It's a great, great place to work. Great team I've ever worked with in my life. Appreciate all of you. And of course, to all of our customers at Commonwealth Bank, we at Commonwealth Bank want to take this opportunity to say thanks to all of you for your loyalty of banking with us. We know you have choices. Thank you so much for choosing us. And to those of you who do not bank currently at Commonwealth, we would love to welcome you through our doors. Stop on by any of our branches and allow our friendly staff to blow you away with great service.
Okay. All right.
One thing is sure, they made the right hire with you.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. The question, you going to sing?
I was saying they made the right hire with him. He is just.
I thought you were going to sing happy birthday for him.
I'm not going to sing happy birthday because I can't sing.
Oh.
But I'm gonna tell
Goodness.
you, best wishes today and for the future. Enjoy your birthday.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much, DeQuesta. I appreciate that.
Winrick Clark again. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Dwight. Thank you, DeQuesta.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll be back. Only a few more minutes of Morning Blend business left here on this Tuesday morning on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
On Angie, how does it feel to have broken the bull riding world record?
Sore, Sean. That bull was angry.
Angie, I think that bull is headed towards your red convertible.
I broke the world record and he broke my car. Oh well, at least I've got CG Comprehensive Motor to cover this.
Get covered for collision, damage, and more. CG Atlantic Agents and Brokers. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Orthopedics, where movement becomes medicine and treatments become triumphs. At Cleveland Clinic, it's more than just repairing what's broken. It's how we put ourselves back together to reconstruct, rehabilitate, and restore the things that give us life. The future of orthopedics is already in motion. For every care in the world, Cleveland Clinic.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Running low on summer funds? Squeeze every drop of fun out of your summer with Fidelity Personal Loan. From backyard upgrades to family getaways, Fidelity is here to help. Call 356-7764 today.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
A
At Everybody Wins Live, the winning is bigger, the action is hotter, and the excitement never stops. We're giving away thousands in cash and free spins every month through our high-paying casino tournament. From spin-off to spin rush to our high-energy slot race tournament, your next spin can turn into your next payday. But that's not all. Lottery players can chase the jackpot, where every $10 lottery spend gets you one step closer to bursting the next jackpot. Will you be our next winner? What are you waiting for? Visit Everybody Wins Live to see all the ways you can cash in.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
It's time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. President of the Bahamas Association of Air Transport Operators, Anthony Hamilton, is assuring everyone that the local airline industry is heavily regulated and that the various aircraft used are constantly under maintenance, notwithstanding their age. Hamilton, speaking to Guardian Business yesterday following the release of the story in Monday's Nassau Guardian, noting the age of the fleet in the commercial aviation space in the Bahamas. The lead story also noted that there are 139 Bahamian registered aircraft with an average age of 42.4 years, with Flamingo Air's fleet being the oldest. Hamilton says that you must consider the number of aircraft on the register and to consider the cargo planes that fly from here to Miami, and a whole lot more. You can read his response to that in today's Guardian Business section. New Providence Gas Limited has appointed operator PX Group to operate and maintain its liquefied natural gas import and regasification terminal at Clifton Pier, marking another step towards the introduction of LNG into New Providence's electricity generation mix. A statement on PX Group's LinkedIn page explained that under a multi-year agreement between NPG and PX Group, the operator will initially assist with commissioning and operational readiness before it takes responsibility for the terminal's long-term operation and maintenance. The terminal is expected to begin operations in the first quarter of 2027 and will receive, store, and regasify imported LNG before supplying natural gas to power generation facilities. The development is central to plans to reduce reliance on heavy fuel oil and diesel while providing a lower emissions and potentially less expensive fuel source for electricity generation on New Providence. NPG is 60% owned by Focal, with Shell holding the remaining 40%. And a proposed redevelopment valued at up to $250 million could transform the former Club Med property in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera, adding to growing investors' interest in central Eleuthera as developers pursue new resort and residential projects in the area. Bahamian-led development company Miles Ahead Limited saying it's proposing to invest $200 million to $250 million across approximately 93 acres at the site of the original French Leave estate, which later became Ahead, saying that the development would include a 40 to 60 key 5-star boutique hotel and as many as 100 residences. Construction is expected to begin in phases in mid-2027, with a partial opening targeted for 2029 and full operations anticipated in 2030. Overseas, U.S. stocks are hanging around their records while oil prices swing on uncertainty about when the war with Iran will allow crude to flow freely again. The S&P 500 rose 0.1% in early trading today and was trading just above the all-time closing high it set on Friday. The Dow Jones Industrial Average added 65 points, and the Nasdaq Composite was little changed. The price for a barrel of Brent crude briefly jumped above $90 before pulling back to $87. Treasury yields moved lower in the bond market. European indexes were a bit higher, and Asian markets closed mostly lower. The U.S. president's media company posting a massive loss in the second quarter and announced plans to ditch new business lines and refocus as a forum for users to post their views. Trump Media and Technology, the company behind Truth Social, saying Monday that it lost $238 million in the 3 months through June as it branched into businesses unrelated to media, including crypto. That was more than 10 times the loss from a year earlier. The per-share loss widened to 86 cents from 8 cents. In a conference call after the earnings release, the new chief executive, Kevin McGurn, saying that a year-long effort to expand by branching into several new industries, including online betting and crypto, would now be largely abandoned on its social media mission. And Vietnamese aerospace company VinSpace saying today it has signed a contract with SpaceX to send its first satellites in orbit aboard a SpaceX rideshare mission in 2020 as the Southeast Asian nation moves to develop its space industry. VinSpace will launch its satellites on SpaceX Transporter rideshare mission run by Elon Musk's company, which carries satellites from multiple customers on a single rocket to share launch costs. The satellites, which VinSpace said it will develop and operate, will test the company's technology in orbit and support future commercial applications. VinSpace is part of Vietnam's Vin Group conglomerate and was established in November 2025. The company saying in April that it planned to develop and launch its first satellites in 2027. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Monday. Your market movers, APD Limited moving 6,120 shares, closing at $50.50 unchanged. Commonwealth Bank moving 110,002 cents to close at 407. Kalina Holdings moving 3,598, unchanged at 17.99. Focall moving 19,250, up 20 cents to 770. Consolidated Water down 8 cents, closing at $6.05. Emera Incorporated up 5 cents, closing at $12.41. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 3,219.33, up 0.14. That's your Market Watch, and that is your Morning Business Report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And our final few minutes to Quessa as we are heading towards the end of the show. Okay. Just checking an interesting message there. Yeah, so I think we got a few more messages about the taxi cabs. We can get back to that conversation, what's going on with the taxi system here, taxi cab and livery drivers and their dispute, and what can be done to solve this matter. What do you make of it? What do you make of the as one caller said earlier, the fear of embracing change, of looking at an Uber-type system here and what that would mean, or again, taxis becoming more like what we see elsewhere in the world, right, where they're more accessible and easier to hail a cab, a meter system, all these other things. What do you think the issue is? Let's get into it. And you can call us as well, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. So what do you think it is? What do you think is the fear? You talked about it. You go out everywhere else. You're muted. No, there you go.
I'm thinking that it could be a mix of things. It could be that, life has been lucrative long enough with it using the same system, even though the system itself could be enhanced. And so there's no need to fix it even though it's broken. And then another part of that, there could be more innovation, more creativity of thought toward how it could become better versus just being comfortable with it the way that it is and just having a rivalry with the other plates every so often. So that's really what I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something's got to give, though. This is not going to work. It can't have piled up, and have been for as long as I can remember, at the airport, at the hotels, and downtown. And it doesn't seem like they're anywhere else except for on the streets, occasionally terrorizing some of us. But so many people underserved who need transportation might have too much stuff to take on a bus, or the buses stop running at the right, or whenever they feel like it seems.
I don't know when that shift happened though, Dwight, because like you said, one time ago you could call 3235111. I even still remember the number from a little girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'd get a yellow cab or a taxi cab would come to you. It went away. I don't really understand what progressively made it go away. Is it that, what are the tourist dollars better? Do they pay more? I mean, it's a standardized rate. I'm confused. I don't know. Or is it that, people are saying, hey, I'm not going to pay that much for taxi? I don't know exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we messed it up. We've messed it all up. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Just looking from outside in, the system that we have is the problem. DeQuesta said, what happened to 35111? That was an organized taxi service, and those drivers worked for a system. I'll use that word rather than say a company. But it was organized. We have total dysfunction, and we know, just like the jitney drivers and just like a lot of other things, the taxi plates are politically motivated, and certain people hold on to them and hand them out for a fee. Mm-hmm. When we decide we want to grow up as a country and every single thing doesn't need to be politicized, we can have a very well-oiled machine, because this country has so much potential. But we have shallow-minded politicians who only want to fill their pocket, and we have a lot of lazy people. Mm-hmm. That's all I want to say.
Wow. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And you cannot argue with a lot of that, unfortunately. But it's been going on for so long.
We keep talking about the fact that we are, corrupt. Like, it's not just the politicians, but we're corrupt. And so where people benefit from having all of these plates or leasing plates or whatever, it all boils back down to money and not necessarily comfortable transportation for citizens.
Yeah. Wow. This is a dumb, stupid text here. This person says, Dwight, in my next life, I want to be just like you. We who know what's been going on in this country for years, been letting you all know how corrupt this country is, and industries and politics and industries, and you're just living in a bubble saying you don't see or believe these things. I've never said that. Ever said that. I'm glad how I grew up to be able to see and be a leader and not a lotioner of parties or religion. Eyes wide open. Who are you saying is doing that? Come to the dark side. Well, here's the thing. If you are so woke and you understand how things work and things continue to be like this, you're the problem. Right? I might not know all the darkness that's going on in these things, but you know everything, and yet it's still like this. So you've done nothing to change it. You are the problem. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight, and good morning, DeQuesta.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
I want to ask a question. I don't know if someone asked it, but I stepped away from my vehicle. Is there a special rate in the taxi fare that's for locals? Like you could go to the hotels and get special local rates. Is there a local rate for Bahamians? Because that's one of the reasons why I choose not to take a taxi from the airport. I'd rather wait for 6 hours till somebody knock off from work because they're so expensive. Wow. Is there a special rate?
I've never heard of it. I've never heard of it. DeQuesta, have you?
I just know that they have zone rates, so I don't know that there's a particular special rate, and that too requires some enforcement.
Another thing too, taxis look like if you're not going from very far to very far, as a local, they're not going to pick you up. They will tell you they're not working or something.
Based on the system, they shouldn't have a choice. They should be able, if you ask to point B, that's the point of being a taxi. They should not be allowed to say that they're not going to take that job. Whoever's next in the call-up system is supposed to take you wherever you want to go, even if that's
and like you say, enforcement is the problem in this country because there's a lot of things on the book and almost none is being enforced. Mm-hmm. So we need to work on enforcement. And I think like the idea that Dwight had about local government, that would play right into the enforcement because the stuff there will have to be, because it's such a small group looking at a small portion, each person looking at their portion and then trying to outdo the other, it will help with the enforcement. So I think we need to look heavily into local government to have a lot of things change in this country, or we will be going down the road holding each other hand and everybody wearing a blindfold.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Well, I've said it many times. I do not believe that you'll see transportation in the way that it should work, an effective, functioning public transportation system, unless we have a real local government system here. So if you keep expecting anything otherwise with what we've got, well, yeah, sure. Final call. We've got to squeeze this in really quickly. Call, you got 30 seconds.
Sure.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning to you. Talking about public service, that's a part of me. But,
no, we're not. We're talking about...
driver.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
You think I'll drive from uptown to the airport in hopes of getting a job? That doesn't make no sense. And with the bus system can be corrected easily. All they need to do is take a partner of they had a bus system one time, Convenience City Transit led by Lamboy Raming. That was a properly run bus system. There wasn't speeding up and down. Nobody's trying to overtake nobody for $1. Everybody had a radio in their car. They were well planned out. It can happen. You just need to put the right people in place.
Okay.
It can happen. I see it happen with Convenience City.
Yeah, well, anything could happen. Definitely. We see it working. These things are working everywhere else in the world. All over. Cities all over the world doing some amazing things, especially when it comes to transportation. And they're trying to be innovative. They're thinking outside the box and not doing things that have been done, or doing things that show great innovation. But we're stuck here. I think some of the callers have hit it on the head why we are stuck, because it's certainly benefiting a few people to be where we are. But not the majority of us. Not at all. Not at all. When are we going to say we're tired of it? And it has to change. DeQuesta Dean, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Have a great week ahead, Dwight.
Really appreciate you. We'll talk again next week. I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, you only have a couple days, is it 2? Including today, to get your entries in for the Great Summer Escape giveaway. And more chances for you to be entered. Keep listening to the station for that and get your entries in now. Have a great day, everybody. Stay tuned for On the Clock with Aaron Green next.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.